kind of I don't know if you guys will care about this, but kind of look at these blossoming plum trees. Beautiful. You guys will care about this, but it's kind of like Japanese. Well, I'm just gonna go into it. So the Japanese emperor is named Akihito, right? And his father was Hirohito. He was the guy who was in charge during World War II. And after World War II, America just been like, hey, you know what? You know all that power you have? Nope. They took away a lot of his power, and then now basically the emperor is just kind of like a figurative. He's just kind of like basically the Queen of England. Like he has no real political power. And the way, and it's for I don't know. I want to say I don't know how long there's been an emperor of Japan, but it's been a long time, over 1,000 years, maybe. Maybe 2,000. I really don't know my Japanese history as well as I should. Anyways, but the way it's always worked for the most part is when the emperor dies, the next emperor takes over, right? There's been a couple instances. There was a guy in the 1800s that stepped down or abdicated before he died, like 20 years before he died. I don't know the reason, but it's not the first time. But anyways, this Emperor Akihito, I really feel bad for the guy. Which, by the way, it's like I don't know very much about him really, but just every picture I see of him and his wife, like they just honestly they're like a national treasure. Everybody loves them, everybody respects them, and it's like I feel like a lot of people kind of get that admiration and respect for no reason, you know, just because of the title that they have. But like I can't say anything bad about the guy. And I feel really bad for him because he's getting old. He's in his 80s now. He's in his 80s now. And he wants to step down. He's like, I'm getting too old to do all of my duties. Which, by the way, the guy works. They're like working him to death with all of these duties that he has to perform. Like he's got I don't know, like he doesn't have a real job, but like he's basically just going here and here and here and here, doing these ceremonies, doing those ceremonies. And he's like, you know, I'm getting too old to really to do everything with as much heart as, you know, I have been. You know, I want to do my best. I want to give my country the best, but I'm getting too old for this shit, he says. So he says, respectfully, like in a speech, he's thinking if it's possible, if maybe it would be okay if, you know, kind of just like really subtly saying like, please let me quit my job. Like I wanna abdicate, let my son be the next emperor. And it's kind of a big deal here because here's something here too, right? So people always say, oh, you fucking Americans, you don't use the metric system. How can you adopt sorry, how can you not use the system? The what is it called, standard or imperial system is such a mind fuck, blah 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 blah. Well, you know what's a mind fuck is the way Japan, I hate the way I said that, Japan counts its years. I've never been to this city before. Where is this place? I like this road. Everybody says, how can Americans use that stupid system? Well, you know how Japanese count years? Every emperor has an era. The lifespan of every emperor's rule starts, so an emperor's rule starts from when his father dies until he dies. So I was born in the Showa era. Then this current era is Heisei, and I don't know what the next one's going to be, but they count years by how far into the current era you are. So honestly, so like when I get the survey, not a survey, when I got to do paperwork and it say like what year is it, sometimes it's just like, okay, 2017, check. Sometimes it's like, oh fuck, it's like Heisei 15, 16, 17. I don't know. I can't be fucked to learn it. And what a convoluted, shitty system. Just saying. So I understand how, like, it'd be he needs to give everybody like advance notice that he wants to quit, because everything goes off of this system, and they'd have to make a lot of preparations and stuff to like end it. But the thing is that I was talking to a student about this. He said legally he can't, like, there are no legal provisions for him to stop working until he dies. So basically he's got like a life, basically he's like basically doomed to work until he's dead, which it sucks, because like I understand tradition and I understand why it's important, but especially when the guy doesn't fulfill any like real purpose for the country, no political power, right? I just don't understand why they would make him, like, why it's such a pain in the ass for him to let him quit his job and let his son take over. So Japan is like steeped in this, you know, tradition and, dare I say, hard-headedness, you know, refusal to change. I guess conservative, you could say, just say in it's conservatism. Would you say that? Conservation? I don't know. But so, and I know that there's even, you know, wherever there's a bunch of laws in the books that, you know, are still technically laws, but they're not really. Everybody knows, just like, okay, that law was made like a million years ago. We don't really have to follow that law. You know, like some shit like I think in Montana, it's legal. I think it's still legal to kill an Indian on your property, a Native American on your property, if 3 or more approach your place, because that's considered a war party, or some shit like that. Like I think that's technically still on the books, but like nobody is gonna, you know, nobody still follows that, right? So there's some old laws on the book, so maybe that's why it's tricky. But they're gonna, right now they're spending some time, and I don't even know if it's a for sure thing, but they're trying to revise the law so that he can step down. But the thing that makes me mad, or that I don't understand, is that they're making the provision only for this generation. Like, they're like, okay, you can, let's spend several years and a bunch of taxpayer money sorting this shit out, but let's only make it so that it can be just this one time. Woo. I don't get it. It's like, why not make the provision so that someday when his son is like crusty as hell and he wants to quit, you know, because his quality of life has gone way down, why not make the law so that he can do it someday too? It's like, if he was doing a real important job, I understand why they would say, no, you can't quit, bro. But if it's just kind of like a symbolic thing, what's the point of making some guy miserable, especially somebody that the whole country admires and respects? It's like, what? It's like everybody's like, oh yeah, well, by the way, I don't know how everybody feels about this, but I feel like he's got enough admiration and respect among the whole country that, like, I think people should be like, yeah, hell yeah, like, if you want to quit, take your time, bro. Oops. So I don't get it. I feel really bad for the guy. In some ways, I feel like he is the weakest man in Japan, because he's got fewer rights than everybody else in this country, which is weird because he's supposed to be, you know, this kind of god king, but he's at the whim of fucking politicians. They don't get it. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. What do you think? See ya, guys. Look at this. Is awesome though. Have a good day.